hard being different when you part of a group. Hey yo, I guess I'll be part of the truth. Are you down for the cause or you down just because? You gonna help with the problem or the problem is you? The truth is, you don't wanna notice the truth.
Revolutionary greetings. This is Chairman Billion of the Council of Ujima. Today we have joining us Akua Agusi, Mom, Minister of Culture of the Council of Ujima, and David Dang, local community organizer.
Yeah, we don't want to focus on the national outrage and the Zimmerman verdict because Pacifica and so many stations of the media have covered that. Our concern number one is the media's coverage of protests in South Central, as well as the future of the 15 to 25-year-old youth, primarily women, a lot of women, who were involved with these acts of defiance against U.S. capitalism by their leaving the prayer vigils organized by ministers and civil rights activists and breaking from that approach to raising concern, raising anger over the Zimmerman verdict and going into the streets. And of course, the media has portrayed these youth as buck wild crazy, mad, insane, whatever. But in fact, we have in the studio people who were part of that contingent that went Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday into streets. I also follow them. I think I was probably the only person of my age there. But I have to follow the leadership of the young folks because they represent the future, and they don't have any kind of economic or financial interest in maintaining the status quo. They have no future. So we'd like to welcome to the studio Sister Akua and Brother Billion, and
David.
David, okay. I don't know what pseudonym you want to use. Cool, okay. I just want to get your analysis, and maybe start with Brother Billion, of what actually happened compared to what the media said.
Well, you know, at the time, the American Revolution was considered illegal, but as stated in the Declaration of Independence, when the government violates the rights of the people have to take, justice into their own hands. So, people are fed up. Trayvon was one of 300 plus of our people who were lynched last year, and, we went through a incident that we went through back in 92. Everyone saw that it was a straight out violation of Trayvon, so folks were...
Rodney King.
Right, Rodney King. But this time it was Trayvon, so folks were outraged. And the first couple days, Saturday, Sunday, it was in the streets. It was focused on shutting the city down. But Monday, a lot more youngsters came out and, they did as they chose to do.
Sister Kua.
Well, this unjustified murder of Trayvon Martin, I think, has snatched the rose tint off of a lot of sunglasses that really didn't see the atrocities that have been happening to young Africans for many decades, and they're angry, and they don't want to just post Facebook statuses. They don't want to just talk about it over the dinner table, but they wanted to take it to the streets, and that's exactly what happened. It's been way over time. Our ancestors, recent, and I don't know. I mean, this is normal to make noise about something that you're upset about. It's not illegal, and it can't be overly organized. There's no such thing. You can't organize resistance, or the state can't anyways. So, of course, their perspective of what we're doing that must be done is going to sound like it's hazardous to our society. So yeah, that's basically what happened. People are angry, and people came out and decided to not post about it, but be about it.
Right on.
So they're upset about that.
David.
Yes, I was there from Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and I would say it wasn't for Sulu, Strugglers United, Luchas Unidas, leading the march on Saturday. I don't think we would have had broken away and pushed away from the Najee Alis and the other sellouts of the community out there. I would say that the yellow community are now fully remembering the attacks on the yellow community by white supremacy. People are remembering Fong Lee from Minneapolis and Vincent Chin. Mm-hmm. So we are definitely seeing a rise of intercommunal solidarity between black, brown, yellow, and even white folks out there on the streets.
What struck me as particularly relevant was the target of the city's transportation infrastructure. I remember marching Saturday, while in the Mert Park. The first target was Crenshaw and Vernon that was closed down. And then subsequently, the youth, 95%, 98% between 14 and 25, probably a lot of women, over 50% women, led the march to close down Crenshaw Boulevard. And once they got to the metro station, they closed down Metro for 3 to 4 hours until 2 o'clock in the morning. Then the following day, we marched once again down Crenshaw Boulevard, but this time we actually entered the freeway, Santa Monica Freeway, and you were part of that, David, among others, and closed down the Santa Monica Freeway until the police came into right mode, and we scrambled up the hill, marched up Washington to Western Boulevard, closed down Washington, marched down Western Boulevard to Wilshire Boulevard, which is the major, quote-unquote, business, corporate, financial capitalist center of Los Angeles, marched all the way down there to Hollywood. And then the following day, which was great, but didn't occur, was an effort to close down LAX airport. And the marchers went down Crenshaw, but got stopped by a large phalanx of riot police and helicopters at Slauson Boulevard. And I guess I was impressed, though, quote-unquote, this is illegal, unquote, they did not declare one of those, this is an illegal gathering. And as long as they didn't declare that, the target for the young people, this is once again led by young people, a third world coalition led by young people, and primarily a lot of women. I shouldn't say women, young girls who targeted was the structure, the infrastructure transportation system. Though the media has portrayed this as a bunch of gangbangers, black youth only, that had no mission, weren't even caring about Trayvon, just going buck wild crazy. So we wanted to refute that. So any comments on that, please, Brother Billy?
A thing we noticed all 3 nights, one, there were a lot of individuals who were constantly communicating with the police and constantly trying to provoke a lot of situations, whether it was fights amongst the people marching or whether it was directing youngsters to carry out some of the acts that were captured on the news. So a lot of the people within the marching that was trying to calm the situation, that was not captured. Also, there were a lot of organizations not from our community trying to direct the movement of people this way or that way who were not from the area. So again, it was an opportunity for a lot of folks to come in and whatever the agenda was, that's what the media was reflecting, not so much the people from the community who were trying to stand up for similar violations of themselves or loved ones.
Akua, any comments?
What we noticed is initially it was a protest type of situation where some poetry was being spat and some people were kind of just expressing themselves and people were tired of standing there and just talking. And immediately, while people were even delivering messages, the crowd just started to move and just wanted to get active, and not in a destructive type of way like the media is trying to portray, but in causing the type of disturbance to let them know that we are shaking control and that we are going to continue to uprise as injustices are handed down. Like, this is not a one-time scenario where, okay, the hype is going to blow over after a week. We are fed up, and mothers are angry. Mothers are tired of being scared and are going to do something about it. So
it amazed me. I saw looked like 14, 15, 16-year-old girls with their baby carriage with their little babies marching, 4 or 5 hours from Leimert Park all the way through Wilshire, Hollywood. They're concerned. You could see in their face, not my baby, not my little son, David.
Yeah, I mean, again, I was there all 3 days. Monday was the most interesting, where the youth was definitely out in full force that night. There were some reactionary elements to it. The media did show the black youth attacking these 2 brothers from the brown community. However, they did not explain or show that people from the black community defended those people from being further attacked, especially a couple of the members of the rioters, including me, putting halt to that reactionary action that occurred there. And speaking as far as, the women leading, it definitely shows how much respect that they definitely do need when it comes down to these protests, as far as addressing some of these sexist issues that are occurring in the community there.
I just got pulled in a corridor here at KPFK by one of our best news correspondents, Fernando Vasquez, whose car was messed up. And afterward, when they found out who he was, the person that did it came up to Fernando and asked that he would have his insurance or take care of the damage done to Brother Fernando's car, because he didn't realize Fernando wasn't LAPD, was in fact a programmer here at KPFK, and have respect for Pacifica. That's another example of how something we may not know somebody, we attack them, we find, hey, no, they're cool. They're in the movement. Sister Akua.
I just wanted to add something that was so inspiring and beautiful about the movement on, Monday, was as we were going through Crenshaw, people were joining in. We had people that were cheering us on, and then people just started just adding in to the march and asking for leadership. What can I do? What should we do? Where are we going? And just fully humbled to how we can unify and in solidarity impact the city. There wasn't too much arguing. It wasn't too much confusion, despite, again, what has been portrayed. It was a very beautiful event.
And once again, these marches, the freeway closure, the close of metro were, quote, illegal. There were no permits. There was no permission. But the young people did it anyway.
I think what was also cool, especially on Sunday, where I went all the way down to Wilshire and Rossmore through K-Town. And despite stopping the traffic, people...
Well, what is K-Town for a listening audience?
K-Town is also known as Koreatown, predominantly of Korean people. Despite the fact that we had slowed down traffic, people that were in traffic in their cars joined with us in the caravan. They definitely honked their horns and rode with us in solidarity, stopping the police from further trying to stop us from marching through. So that was a big help.
Brother Billion.
Yeah, one thing we are asking all individuals outside of our community who are interested in helping us, you don't necessarily need to come into the Leimert, Crenshaw, Inglewood areas. Organize in your community. You have access to shut down or make an impact in areas that really need to be influenced, where the oligarchs are residing. So, salute to those who went to Beverly Hills, salute to those who attempted to go to Westwood. It's an action in downtown LA right now, but we need everybody, every community right now to rise up and do whatever you can.
Like Chairman Mao says, let 1,000 flowers bloom.
I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Oh no, oh. I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. All around in my own town, they're trying to find.
You are listening to Freedom Now here at KPFK 90.7 FM in Los Angeles, 98.7 FM Santa Barbara, and 93.7 FM in San Diego, and of course streaming live on the web at kpfk.org. This afternoon's program, as well as 10 prior editions, can be reheard for the next 10 weeks at kpfk.org. Audio archive, scroll to Freedom Now. Following Freedom Now is our sister Assumpta with Spotlight Africa, an in-depth analysis of issues facing Mother Africa, and our brother Namdi with the Pan-African music program, Aphrodisia. For a truly alternative international perspective on world affairs, check out RT-TV Russia, Presna Latina Cuba, Telzer Venezuela, News 24 South Africa, Press TV Iran, and CCTV China. We will continue with Freedom Now with our next segment.